All right, so in this video, I am going to go over your final project. So it says, we have reached the end of course content for AP Government. No cumulative end of final course exam, so we're not going to have a cumulative exam for this class. That is, unless you're taking the AP exam. So of course, if you signed up to take that, you're gonna have to take that. But instead, a collective research project that will help you review course material and reflect on everything you have learned this year. So this final project is actually going to help you review for the AP exam if you're taking that test. So it says, acting as a professional political scientist, you will research and compile a wealth of information from this course, including but not limited to the Constitution, the branches of government, civil liberties and rights, and elections and campaigns. You are invited to amaze and dazzle Ms. Collis with a Google Slides presentation demonstrating your knowledge. So it says when. So you have from Friday, April 2nd through Friday, April 30th to work on this project. So that is almost an entire month to work on this project. It is due by the end of the day on April 30th. So you'll submit your project on Google Classroom. Points will be deducted for late submission. So this is your final project. It's going in as a final grade. It says underneath there, on April 21st, you will submit your project for a checkpoint grade. So it's a little over halfway that you will submit what you have been working on for a checkpoint grade. So at least 4 of the 8 items that are required for the project, and I'll go over those in just a minute, must be completed at this time to receive the checkpoint grade. So it's essentially either you have that part done or you don't. There's not any in between. So either you've done what you're supposed to do or you have not. The checkpoint grade is worth 10 points of your overall score. So this is going to be a 100-point project. 10 of those points are going to come from this checkpoint grade, okay? So if you don't turn in anything at the checkpoint, that means that the highest grade that you are going to be able to get on this project is a 90 out of 100. It says you are to take the work that we have done all year, flesh it out with whatever is needed from the web or various resources, and produce a Google Slides presentation. There is no maximum or minimum to the slides, but it does need to be complete and thorough. You will need to attach a works cited list as the last slide or 2 of your presentation. You must use at least 5 resources. It will take some work and ingenuity to make this work and flow, but that's what political scientists do. All right, so the requirements for this Google Slides presentation. So the first thing that you need to include are foundational documents. So you are going to rate from top to bottom. So first being most important, 5th being least important. The top 5 most important foundational documents from the list of documents required for this course, and the list is attached. Include evaluations and reasons. So you're going to include your reasoning for why each foundational document is important. So those explanations are required. You're going to explain why each document is important, why number 1 is most important, why number 5 is important, okay? And this should be more than just a 1 to 5 list. So if you just list Constitution, Articles of Confederation, Federalist, da-da-da, Federalist, da-da-da, you're not going to get full credit for that. In order to receive credit, you have to have explanations for why this document is important. The second requirement, okay, that you should include in your Google Slides presentation are Supreme Court cases. So again, you're going to rate from top to bottom the top 5 most important Supreme Court cases, from the list of cases required for this course. So again, you're going to include evaluations and reasons. So you're going to number the top 5 most important cases. So 1 being the case that you think is the most important case that we've discussed this year. And you're going to provide explanations on why you think each of these cases is important. Again, this should be more than just a 1 through 5 list. Number 3, constitutional amendments. Rate from top to bottom the top 5 most important constitutional amendments that we've discussed in this course. So I want you to include evaluations and reasoning again, okay? So you're going to look at the constitutional amendments that we've discussed, and we've discussed a lot out of the 27, okay? So you are going to pick the ones that you think are the most important, and again, explain why you think they are. When I say explanations, I'm looking for more than just one sentence here, okay? We're looking at least 2 to 3 sentences. Number 4, congressional powers. What is the most important enumerated power of Congress? So during our Congress unit, we talked about some of those enumerated powers of Congress. Choose which one you believe is most important and then explain your answer in at least 3 to 5 sentences. And number 5, roles of the president. In our discussion of the executive branch, we covered the 5 main roles of the president. Of these 5 roles, which is the most important? And again, you're going to explain your answer in at least 3 to 5 sentences. So if you think that the president's most important role is as chief executive, that's fine, but you're going to explain that in at least 3 to 5 sentences. So again, 1 through 5 on this list are required in your presentation. And again, you need to make sure that you are including explanations anywhere that it asks you to do so. If you do not include explanations, you are going to lose points. All right, so those are the 5 requirements. The next part says choose 3 of the following items to include in your presentation. So there's 5 options here. You get to choose 3 of these. So whichever 3 you choose. Number 6 says the Articles of Confederation. What was the biggest weakness of the Articles of Confederation? You're just going to explain your answer, so whatever you think it was, in 3 to 5 sentences. Federalism, provide an example of federalism in action. So an explanation of that example should be at least 5 to 8 sentences, so you could find a real world example. We did an assignment on COVID-19 and federalism earlier this year, so that's something that you could consider for finding an example. Number 8, political socialization. Which factor has contributed most to your political socialization? Explain your answer in at least 5 sentences. Number 9, linkage institutions. Which of the 5 linkage institutions is the most important for citizen political participation? Okay, so elections, campaigns, political parties, interest groups, or the media. So you choose one and then you explain why it's most important in at least 5 sentences. And then number 10, the Electoral College. Should the Electoral College be abolished? Explain your answer in at least 5 to 8 sentences. So again, you are creating a Google Slides presentation, okay? No maximum or minimum number of the slides, but you have to include everything. It needs to be thorough. 1 through 5, these items are required in your presentation. And then 6 through 10, you choose 3 of these. So 8 items total in your presentation. All right, some notes on grading. The final project is worth 100 points total. 10 of those points, again, come from the checkpoint grade. So you have from April 2nd to April 30th to complete the entire project. But on April 21st, you will submit your assignment for that checkpoint grade. And at least half of it has to be finished at that point. Points will be deducted if the assignment does not include all 5 required items and 3 of those choice items. So remember, you have to have 8 total items. Points will be deducted for a lack of explanation or reasoning, or if explanations do not meet the minimum sentence requirements where stated. Okay, so you have to explain your answers. Points are going to be deducted for obvious lack of effort. So if I can tell that you have not taken any time or put any thought into this, any kind of real effort, points are going to be deducted. If it looks thrown together and like you have not really worked on this, points are going to be deducted. You are not going to get an A for something that you did not really work on. So this is an assessment of course knowledge. Show me what you've learned. And again, I am expecting quality work. I'm giving you an entire month to do this. I understand that it's going to take some time to put this together. And that's why this is a 100-point grade. So take your time, work on this a little bit at a time, and really put some effort into it. If you have any questions, please let me know.